and just a realness that you cannot really find nowhere else. Like, I'm sorry, I know there's a lot of West Coast people that be thinking and I fuck with West Coast people, but bro, like, the East Coast comes with like a grittiness, a rawness, a realness, like, you know, like, really, that I just love. I fucking love it. I also love New Orleans. New Orleans is definitely my favorite state in the U.S. Do you ever get writer's block, and how do you get rid of it? I think that, oh fuck, I lost my fucking earring. Great, cool, what else is new? I think that writer's block comes from overthinking or just insecurity, lack of inspiration. So I feel like I have had writer's block before, and when I had writer's block, I wrote a song called Writer's Song, and it goes, I don't believe myself, I don't even trust no one else. Thanks for cutting me off, Instagram. How the fuck can I write a song if I don't feel like it? I don't write that well, so don't ruin my day. I don't want to face nothing but Chardonnay. So Writer's Song is about not knowing what to write and being so defeated by that thought. Like, I remember I went through a phase when I was like maybe 2 years ago when I got off the road and it was time for me to go back into the studio, and I felt like I'd lost my gift, and it was so fucked up, and I felt like I couldn't write, like, and I was fucking destroyed. I would sit with my guitar and I would cry because it was the first time in my life I ever experienced not being able to write. And obviously I could write, but I just wasn't impressed with anything I was making. And it broke my heart, like, into a million pieces. And then finally, after like going crazy, I decided to write a song called The Bum and the Pope. And it's not released yet, but it's an amazing song. I did it with a dope producer named Jen DeSilvio. And it's just really heartfelt, you know? And it was inspired by driving in the car and being so defeated. I was in the back of an Uber. I was so defeated and so heartbroken. And there was this woman that was in her car and, you know, in the car next to me, and she turned around and she looked at me and she smiled. But I remember being so, she just looked at me in my eyes and she just smiled. She's like, you know, a nice smile. And it made me burst out into tears because I needed that gentleness in that moment, you know. I just needed someone to be like, you know, kind. And she doesn't even know, like, I'll never meet her. I probably never will know who she is. But I went in and it one of the poems on it goes, Hope, the bum and the Pope. Basically, hope. It's yours, it's mine. The bum and the Pope. It belongs to everybody. Hope. Like, because that was a moment of hope, and everybody has that. Like, no matter how hard shit gets, no matter how hard shit is, like, there's always an opportunity for hope, you know, and there's always an opportunity for a better tomorrow. Like, that possibility always exists in life, you feel me? And I think that we forget that, like, my nigga, like, shit be getting rough, but there's always a way through it, you know? There's always a way through it. Like, there's always a chance that it'll get better, and 9 times out of 10 it does. So in that moment, that's what that woman made me remember, like, okay, it's not that bad, you know? So yeah, that's my answer on writer's block. I kind of got a little bit carried away, but yeah, writer's block is just a product of overthinking, you know? It's really all subjective. Like, what's good and what's bad is all subjective, you know? So I feel like, to me, what my taste and what I like is shit that's honest. And I think that when you're honest, no one can tell you that it's good or it's not good, you know, if you're honest in your music. And if you really have, and you try to be, you know, unique. Do you think fame could ever change you? Me in particular, like, I'm gonna be real, like, I've seen fame change a lot of people, my nigga. Like, I've seen fame, like, impact and affect people very, very, very in weird, strange ways. But I'm never gonna be so arrogant to say that fame couldn't change me, because it's like, my nigga, like, that shit is like a fucking, it's not natural. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously you want it as an artist because you want people to, like, know you and you want people to know your work, but it's not the reason why I do shit. So I feel like, you know, I'm not pressed. Like, I'm not gonna sell my fucking, but I feel like I've seen fame change people in crazy ways, because it creates a barrier between you and the world. It creates a barrier between you and the world and the rest of the world, and it puts you, it almost isolates you. So even though all these people know who you are and fuck with you, they don't know you, you know what I'm saying? So it isolates you, and we're pack animals. And people think that you're above them, or you think that you're above people, and that also, that arrogance, that ego isolates you, you know what I'm saying? And people do weird things when they can't find people to trust, or they don't have anyone that they trust, or they do weird things, like when they're driven by ego, or when they're driven by money. So fame, I've seen it really fuck up a lot of people's psychology and, like, in their heads. Like, so I'll never be so arrogant to say, nah, fame couldn't change me, you feel me? Because that shit is an entity. That shit is an energy, you feel me? Like, and the way that shit will change you is by thinking that it can't, you feel me? Like, so you gotta always know, like, you know, always have, like, that sense of intuition and be like, nah, is this, you know, like, I'm not even like, famous or, like, super, like, some of my friends, you feel me? But it's like, and shit already be fucking with me, you know, just through being known and shit. Like, shit already be like, fucking, like, what the fuck? Like, shit already be like, you know, like, intense. So I feel like fame could change anybody, you know what I'm saying? That's the scary part about it, is that it can change anybody. You know, it could change you, it could change the people around you. Like, just because people think you're better than them doesn't mean you are. You know, and that's the biggest thing that a lot of people don't, you know, forget. It's like, just because people think, like, people are hyped up about some shit, or think you're better than them, or think blah blah, doesn't mean that you are, you feel me? Like, you gotta have, like, good be in touch with reality.